So
So
there we go, and we're up.
Do you have a YouTube channel, by the way, Jonny?
I don't know what it is. I don't like YouTube. Like TikTok just seems something simple for me. YouTube, I just don't like it.
Same here, bro. I don't really like YouTube either. I'm not gonna lie. TikTok is easy, and it's easier to grow on it as well. I know your ashwagandha video went viral, didn't it?
By my standard, yeah.
I think it went pretty viral because I saw your video organically. I didn't.
It was a solid video. The structure of the video was really good. Like the way you pattern into ropes, everything like open loop, like everything was there. That was the reason why it went viral.
That's the idea of I had a lot of comments saying fear mongering, etc. And in the sense the way I worded it at the start, it does kind of sound like fear mongering.
It's how you grab their attention.
Of course, it's just marketing at the end of the day. And I mean, I've experienced depersonalization, desensitization, and even anhedonia.
Yeah.
From ashwagandha, specifically anhedonia, and that honestly. I just record. I was working in my last job. It was a sales job, and I just remember sitting down at the computer screen and saying, "I don't feel anything. I would rather feel sad than what I feel now, which is nothing." So from that moment, I realized it was wrong. And
how much ashwagandha were you taking to get to that point? Because I was at a point where I was taking 2.5 grams a day every day.
Yeah, you don't.
I'm stopped, but
yeah, that's gonna mess you up. I mean, I've got there's a guy in one of the Discord servers we're in, Sean Golden, and he's very pro ashwagandha, and he did a little experiment where he tried 2.5 grams for a few days, and he said, right, I've started to feel anhedonic now. I better stop. So it just.
And that's due to serotonin,
right? Yeah. So there's a receptor, the 5-HT1A.
Yeah.
And essentially, ashwagandha agonizes this. This is why so many people say I feel the opposite effect, because it agonizes the receptor, so they feel better at the start. They feel more motivation. They feel great, and then constant agonism leads to the receptor down-regulating, and then that's when you start to get a bit.
So it's kind of like a natural SSRI. Is that right? Or am I wrong there?
Same, yeah.
No, SSRIs spike GABA. Yeah. The reasons why SSRIs work is because they reintroduce GABA into your system, something like that. I don't think it has anything to do with serotonin and shit, like SSRIs.
They do, they're selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, so they do. There are some receptors in which they do affect. There's one study on the ashwagandha one, and it says there is a similar mechanism to SSRIs in the study, but that's the only thing we had to go by in terms of 5-HT1A desensitization, because there's no other studies really saying it does that. It just says there is a similar mechanism to in antidepressants, and of course the condition, which is when the receptor gets desensitized, is PSSD, post SSRI sexual dysfunction.
Oh yeah, I've read about that.
Yeah,
it's incurable, I swear. Or at least in the medical world, they say it's incurable. I'm sure there's a way to heal from it.
I've got a friend. I won't drop any names for personal reasons, obviously, but a friend of mine who's taken it. He's a biohacker, and that he still hasn't recovered, and that was 2 years ago. So
wow, so this is serious shit.
Taking what?
Yeah,
Aleks, keep up. You've done this twice.
Ashwagandha.
Oh, ashwagandha.
Okay, interesting stuff.
I only realized how fucked up it is now.
Can I?
It was I was getting a placebo from ashwagandha because I was reading so positive things about it, rather than actually being self-aware of what it actually does to my body.
That's the problem. There's so many guys. They're literally posting ashwagandha's the best, ashwagandha's this. They're posting all these
they're
benefits.
just doing it for the trends, though. That's the thing.
Exactly. And then there's nobody saying anything bad about it. I'm like, are these guys serious? You know, like, okay, it's not going to mess up everyone, but there is a good percentage of people who will respond, like myself, like Aleks, who will respond negatively to this. And if people aren't telling people about the potential side effects, then, you know, it's just harmful. And that's not what we're about. We're about improving people's health, improving their well-being. So
I'll be honest, I made a TikTok about ashwagandha for anxiety, and I remember, you know, in no way was it for. I mean, it's just a video. Like at the time, it's the knowledge I had. But I noticed in the comments, a lot of people were saying this shit this shit was horrible. Like this shit did not help me. Like this actually made me feel worse. And I remember sitting there thinking, why? Why is it? What do you mean? Like I don't understand. But now you said that, that would explain it. So it's true. I mean, everyone is different at the end of the day.
Yeah, and there's another reason as well, which, I mean, there's the 5-HT1A desensitization, but also ashwagandha, if I recall, it's in the same family as tomatoes. What's it? Nightshade. It's a nightshade. So some people deadly nightshade.
Nightshade.
Yeah. So for if you look at a tomato, if you look at like the vine.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. But essentially, some people don't respond. They get like autoimmune problems from nightshade family.
Okay, is that through some kind of pesticide that's found in it or something?
It's not a pesticide. It's just.
Is it called like colitis or some shit?
I don't know whether it causes specific issues or like a general inflammation, but generally, like if your body is seeing something that it detects as something that shouldn't be there, and it releases, you know, cytokines to try and take on this thing, it's going to cause inflammation, and it's going to give you like, you know, inflammatory side effects.
Right, got it.
So
interesting stuff. So the best way to go about it would just be to try it and just see what happens.
Yes, but
get a good quality brand. Chicks, I guess.
Right. So I'd advise KSM or Sensoril because they're standardized. But now, like the guy I mentioned earlier, Sean Golden, he showed me something saying that specifically, what's the black pepper called specifically? The patented one.
What?
Biopepper or some shit.
Biopepper.
Bioperin, that's the one. Yeah. He put a study saying bioperin lowers testosterone. So I'm there like, right, okay, so this could also be impacting your testosterone level as well by lowering it. Plus, if you're taking it too long and your 5-HT1A messes up, you can end up with more stress and, you know, more serotonin, more stress, and it kind of messes you up. So, oh gosh.
What are we trying to say?
You just, I mean, you just don't know, like, until you go deep and you start reading other people's experiences. Like, you don't really have an idea. You know, people like to see a peer-reviewed study disproving all this. And at the end of the day, if fire is hot, you don't need a study to prove that. You've got the evidence from, you know, you don't even have to experience it yourself. You can see other people that put their hand in the fire. They've realized it's hot, and you can learn from them.
Got it.
So
I like that because I feel like everyone nowadays just needs like the big person to tell them what to do. And I'm like,
I know.
What about intuition? Like, why don't we use that? You know, why don't we just look at?
It's not even just that. It's observation as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, at the end of the day,
like you see a pattern,
observing the effects of something.
Yeah, exactly. Can I steer off? But I'm curious. Like for me, this is a new herb. I wanted to know your take on it because I mentioned it. But like Tribulus terrestris, like what do you think of that? So I'm just fascinated with it. I think it's like so interesting.
Well,
I haven't actually started taking it yet. So
they take a lot of it in Bulgaria. In Bulgaria, Tribulus is like the test booster. They market it like even in pharmacies, they will sell this as the testosterone booster,
which it doesn't do, right? It's not been proven to do that.
Oh gosh.
It increases like DHEA, DHT, free testosterone, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
It's quite significantly too. Would you not agree?
I've seen studies that say it doesn't. I've seen studies that say it does. DHT wise, I would say it does. Brain receptor wise, I would say it does. And even if it doesn't increase testosterone itself, like serum T or free T, I would still take it. I recently added it into.
Sick.
It
increases the androgen receptor in the brain as well, right?
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm. At the moment, I'm running a protocol for that specifically.
Interesting. All right, cool.
Raloxifene is feminizing on the brain.
Got it. So before I ask more about that, what was I going to say? Do you think that has something? Because obviously there's like a very a sexual benefit to tribulus. Would you say that's the reason, like that they are density, or is it something else?
It does have a combination of things.
It's the it's called like protodiazine or something. As the
protodiazine. That's the main. Yeah, that's the main saponin. I don't read things, but yeah, that's the primary the active ingredient essentially. But generally, you want like 95% of that, and
it's like to get the benefits, like you have to take it for about 3 months. Is that right?
That's a good question, actually.
But at least that's what I've read. Like the studies show, like after 3 months, this benefit happens. So.
That's the thing is with the studies, though, they're not, they're done based on a specific duration. So, for example, you've got a study on, let's take boron, for example. You've got a study showing it decreases estrogen in like a week or two, but then after they did another long-term study where it shows it actually increases estrogen after. So duration is very important, but I wouldn't really. I mean, I wouldn't focus too much on expected results at a particular time frame. Yeah. I just take it and then just like see how you feel day to day.
Got it.
And then, I mean, with ashwagandha, people say you have to build it up, and taking it chronically, it does kind of. They say it's got like a reverse tolerance for the effect, gets stronger over time.
Yeah, it's like with analyzed build up in the system.
Yeah, but I personally only take it on days I feel I need it. Like today, for example, I took it today. I mean, because I was feeling a bit iffy, but yeah, I'm. There's arguments from my experience. Like ashwagandha, I would say it does work on the day, or even if you take it before you go to sleep. I feel it personally. Other people might not. So it depends on the individual. Could be placebo.
Interesting. What else was I say? We mentioned something about the androgen receptors in the brain. What was? Like, what's your protocol then for that? Like, what's your current thing you're doing? I mean, I'm very, very interested.
So, at the moment, as I mentioned before, raloxifene, which is a serum to shrink the gynecomastia, unfortunately, it's feminizing on the brain. So, to counteract that, I'm taking glycine, which increases androgen receptors significantly in the brain. It's one of the main.
Glycine is ridiculous. Like it's
on bone broth.
Overpowered. Overpowered.
OP.
It's OP, man. Yeah. It's so cheap. What the fuck?
Yeah, but like
and it's so simple. It's
just broth.
Yeah.
Yeah, gelatin. I've got the gummy bears, the good old gummy bears upstairs. I use as a post-workout snack.
So you're doing this as like a free food, right? You're not are you supplementing with it or not?
Both.
Okay.
So I've got
Now Foods one, right? That's the best one, right? The powder.
Yes.
That's the one I use. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Solid, yeah. So glycine is amazing. Like I've also read it increases pain tolerance. I swear my pain tolerance is like ridiculous.
Yeah, there's one thing I'd point out. I read it, I think, on the Reiki forums. If you're taking a lot of a specific amino acid, it's going to deplete other amino acids. So you've got to be careful about that. Otherwise, you could like get rid of some things that are useful. And of course, you don't want that. So
okay, I'd only take about 5 grams a day. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, 5 to 10 grams.
But most proteins like you'd get would not be very high in glycine because glycine is more found in like organs, and we don't really eat organs anymore. We eat more like
you can get you could buy what's it bone broth like Aleks said, or not gelatin, but you can get chicken soup. Chicken soup's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the name of it. My brain today is missing.
No worries.
Ben, you need to look into making some like soup, like learning. Like I'm getting into it. Like I've been having some here. Because basically bone broth, you take a fucking huge chicken, you put it into water, you boil it out, you get all the like collagen, gelatin.
Mm-hmm. That's the one I'm looking for. Collagen.
Yeah.
Collagen. That's the word.
Got it.
Yeah.
Nice little plug there for Aleks. But yeah, okay, that's cool. And so glycine for scola? No.
Kind of is okay. It increases dopamine, increases testosterone by CAMP, which is like
cyclic adenosine monophosphate.
That's the one.
So what is that like every hormone at one time, right? All the hormones go raised together, right? Is that what it does?
Basically, it's going to increase your mitochondrial function or something like that.
Good for performance. Good for performance, right?
I've noticed a trend like with herbs, like they should be taken tactically rather than like daily.
Every day.
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
Yeah, I'd agree, Aleks. Because like even like the ancient people, they would why are you laughing? The ancient people would they would say that they would use the what was it? Like they talk to the spirits, or I think they talk to the spirits to ask how much they should use or how much they should take. So like this is very sort of like
weird stuff.
Yeah, it's a bit more like out there. But I'd agree because like for me, like you said, like on a night out, like I'll take some like Tonka Ali, Shazandra, because it just kind of it gets me like into that zone, you know, like it gets me present, gets me in that talkative mode. So
Kings, you have to try pine pollen. I can't stress this enough, man. Like imagine your alpha state, but like on fire. Like I cannot stress how good pine pollen is. I'm not sure exactly what.
Are going out for workout.
A tincture. Don't use it every day. I think it could potentially shut down your testosterone. So use it like once a week max. Don't use it like cradle it as your baby. If you're going for a job interview, you use pine pollen, but don't just use it every day.
Sounds so alpha, you know.
In the bedroom, if you use pine pollen in the bedroom, I swear on my life, you will be the most dominant alpha male Chad in the possibility of existence. I swear to you.
What's your secret to your masculinity?
This is what I'm saying. So like, let's just be real here. Like every guy here wants that, right? So I'm interested. So would you say that if you are to increase, so would you say that increases your androgen receptor in your brain, the pine pollen? Or is it a bit of everything?
Yeah, basically it's full of androgens from DHEA to I think it's got, I'm not sure if it's got actual testosterone, but it's got DHT, and also it's got the more downstream androgen. So
like androsterone.
DHEA.
Let me. That's the one. No, androstenediol and androsterone. So both of those.
Androsterone. So I say it wrong, but okay, got it. Interesting.
There's two. There's androstenediol and androsterone.
And androsterone is kind of like where the smell, like the women can like smell that, can't they, on you?
They can sense it, man. They can taste it in the air, man. And
all right,
something about having
that.
all of those, it makes you into an absolute like
fucking lion.
Unit of a person, man. Like,
okay, cool. So basically, like that's interesting. So I just find that so interesting, right? So would you say like increasing the androgen receptor in your brain, would that make you more dominant, just like in the bedroom, like out of curiosity?
Yeah, I would say that.
For a friend.
I'll say that. No, I'm being real, like, because guys want. I want to know this. I'm not gonna fucking lie. Like, I'm curious.
Yeah, I found myself like the more like for example with this protocol I'm running, which does include Tribulus, by the way, the androgen protocol. So we got glycine, vitamin B3, specifically niacinamide.
Okay.
You always want to take that with something like with a methyl donor. So that's going to be TMG.
Trimethylglycine, yeah.
Otherwise, it can affect your liver, but it's actually good for your liver if you take it with TMG.
You ever got flushing from like B vitamins, niacin?
B3, yeah. If you take too much, but sometimes I use that as a pre-workout with beta alanine. I swear on my life, man, it feels like you're being stung by killer bees.
No way.
Like I turned like a tomato. Like,
bro, I came up with this idea where imagine now, like it's like a night out and you've got shots with the lads, and you order 12 shots. 3 of those shots have 2 grams of beta alanine and 1 gram of niacin.
That poor guy. There's like one unlucky guy.
I remember I told my friend he was never into like pre-workouts and things like that. Mm-hmm. And he wanted to try because he's seen like how like good you felt and things like that. He's seen the hype. And I'm like, here, try the pre-workout that I have, you know. Me and my friend are like, but bro, like if you start like going red and tingling, you're getting an allergic reaction. You're gonna die and shit. So
say that, bro.
That's savage.
So basically, we gave it to him, and he started like turning like that, and you start panicking.
Funny.
Oh my days.
What else have you got in that?
You know what I found out as well? Like, Jack 3D. Have you ever tried them pre-workouts?
I've read about Jack 3D, but
yeah, so
I know about it.
So it's one treat. Like it's basically speed. Like you're taking speed. Like I only realized the other week I was taking speed every day for like a good 3 years.
Fuck's sake.
That's cool.
Oh god.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, cat. So what did we have? What was it? Glycine, Tribulus.
No, for the androgen
receptor in the brain. Yeah, right.
Glycine, vitamin B3, specifically niacinamide. Tribulus. Cystaunch tubulosa. I mentioned this to Aleks before. It's probably one of the. It's essentially what Genghis Khan, as they call him.
Yeah.
It's what he used to take to fertilize like the entire of Asia.
Okay.
What is it?
He won.
What's the component that he takes? Asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend.
We want to know, but I'm not gonna fucking bullshit. Like, tell me this shit.
It's dopaminergic. It increases DHT. It protects your hair as well.
Okay.
And I think it kind of tricks your brain into thinking there's not enough androgen, so your brain produces more androgens, and it resets your gut bacteria. This herb is amazing.
So just say it one more time, just for the people.
Just for the people at the back.
Wingardium Leviosa. Sorry. Is it on Men Elite by any chance? Is there an article about it? What? Men Elite.
I think he mentions it, yeah.
I feel like I've seen it before because I've read through that whole website. Like I'm obsessed.
I got it from who told me about the staunch?
I'll have to DM you after to some shit.
Find out for my friend, you know.
No, for me. Let's just be real. It's funny though.
Yes. No, I think it was the guy from the biohacker guy.
Ben Greenfield.
No. Live Cortex. He's Ryan. So he's got like a black beard, dark hair. I think he dyed it or something. And he makes like, but he's controversial. He can be controversial. He's
Well, like us, right?
But I think I got the idea from him.
Yeah.
He was researching compounds. He does this like thing called Viking testosterone protocol. That's where his test boosting thing is. But yeah, Sustanche tubulosa, you want to take about 3 to 10 grams. I say 3 to 8 grams a day. That shit is woo, good. Like everyone needs this as their base.
Need it as what, sorry? Their base.
Oh yeah, like part of the testosterone protocol.
Got
like it's also an adaptogen as well that isn't gonna mess you up.
Okay, so, this is very interesting because this is stuff that like I've never really even heard of before. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, not many people have. This is
the next level.
To get. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's gonna be a bitch to get, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then is that it? Is that all of them? Or is there more? Carnitine?
Glycine free. Carnitine, I've added that temporarily.
Because I've taken carnitine. It definitely made me more alpha, like the way I act. Like L-tartrate, yeah.
I've got a bit of an issue with it. Yeah.
Thyroid, fucks your thyroid, doesn't it?
It affects thyroid hormone. Exactly.
Is that
and forskolin does that as well. So when you've got those two.
Well, I thought, is it L-carnitine, L-tartrate that messes your thyroid, or is it freeform that messes your thyroid?
Who knows?
I think it's freeform.
Who knows, man? Maybe. Anyway, but yeah, and so that's it. Yeah, that's your whole stack. So that's the stack to just become the ultimate alpha, alongside obviously good nutrition.
I mean, I got other things in there like B complex. I've recently just bought a higher dose vitamin B1 or B2.
Yeah, thiamine. Yeah.
Can't remember which one. Yeah, thiamine. Yeah.
One. Yeah. That is for DHT, right? But is that not right?
Yes, I can't even remember now. Yeah, I know it's good for androgens.
You take boron and shit like that, like boron.
With boron, I've got a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
So like, I've got my friend trialing it. Well, friends using it, and
we've
all reported now that it increases our stress over time, and generally the estrogen increases after 2 weeks, but we started to report after 1 week. So rather than cycling it on and off, I'm starting to think it might be better just to take 6 milligrams consistently and see how that fares.
I'm taking
100 grams.
No, yeah, I can give you my own testament. I was taking about 150 milligrams a day.
Is that boron or borax?
Boron, bro. Like no word of a lie. I was taking ridiculous doses. Like I had my hands full, and I was just going like this and drinking it all.
Ben's theory is like, if it spikes your testosterone with 10 milligrams, how much can I take one before I die, man?
It wasn't actually that. It was a guy on, I don't know, I think it was on a forum or something, and he was like saying like, no joke, this shit works.
It all starts with a forum.
And I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna try this. And to be honest, I didn't really see nothing really happened. Like really? I don't really know what to make of it.
Negative, or did you get anything positive from it?
It's hard to say. I mean, I had an experience in that time period of doing it where basically someone canceled my gym membership, and I went crazy at them. So I don't know. That could have been estrogen. That could have been
estrogen. Sounds like, yeah.
But I kept my cool though. I did it in like a very constructive. It was like a very calm, but like a angry, but like a respectful,
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's just me as a person or what. So it's really hard to say. And I was taking other stuff at the same time. But right now, currently, I'm taking 12 milligrams every single day. And now you're saying this, I'm kind of like in my head, I'm like hypochondriac. But as far as I'm aware right now, I'm good. Like I feel okay. I don't see any issues.
Like the thing with Ben is like, I wouldn't say he has high estrogen, because he's like 6% body fat without even trying.
What?
Yeah, but that's just how I know.
That's mad. You've built different.
Yeah, mate, don't start. I get this in the gym like every single day. Everyone says this to me.
No, it's like
I definitely have high testosterone. Like I know
it's interesting the way, like he's just like, there's like he's like ectomorph kind of build, like zero body fat, like, and you can just like, it's crazy shit.
Yeah,
but then
but then I still think I have issues because obviously like I had gyno, and I'd say I am naturally not like an alpha dude. Like I really had to.
But that
Alex, you would agree though, right? You would agree, like you see me kind of develop. Like you even said that I'm a lot more sort of, and I feel it myself. So I get a lot more. I just feel like I've noticed a change in me as a person, and I'm hooked. I'm hooked now. I'm hooked because I've seen that progress, and it's like I'm going all the way. Like I'm going all the way as far as I can take it. So yeah, it's kind of a crazy thing, but it's a blessing. That's what I mean. Like it's a blessing because the power is now in your hands. You can figure this shit out. Like you can change it. What were we even on about again? I don't know, but I know I've got
boron dosage.
Oh yeah, boron. So yeah, when it comes to that, I mean, I looked up that 12 milligrams a day in this, like, say, took 2 milligrams in a study. I'm not even huge on studies, but this is what I'm just going off. 2 milligrams did nothing. 12 milligrams increased DHT. So I just take 12 milligrams a day. And boron's a really weird mineral though, because like when you look at it, you know how it antagonizes other ones. When I look at these charts, boron's just like it's on its own. Like it doesn't antagonize anything. So I'm like, is it this like secret thing? I don't really know. Right then, man.
The good thing I like about boron, the big thing is that
you're gone.
Dying over here.
What I like about boron is how it actually increases.
Brain
dying over here. It helps with magnesium and vitamin D.
Yes, yeah, increases the half-life of vitamin D.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
you. Yeah, we can hear.
All right, yeah. So, when you got vitamin D high, obviously testosterone is going to be higher. You get the magnesium and you increase your testosterone higher, and it just, it synthesizes really well with synchronizes really well with the other stuff you can take. So that's probably the best thing about boron. But if you're taking 12 milligrams every day, I would be concerned over time your estrogen would be going high, but I mean maybe you're just built different.
Maybe what I'll do is I'll take a week off and I'll see how I feel. Because I've been taking it for the past for a month or over a month, so yeah, I'll take a little break. Why not? We'll see what happens. So yeah, that's that.
Yeah,
Phosphatidylserine. Do you take that?
I've heard of it. I don't even know what it does. You're gonna have to enlighten me.
This is the thing. Now, welcome to Alex's domain.
It's basically an adaptogenic herb as well, and it's like
it's not a herb.
What?
It's not a herb.
Oh yeah, it's not. It's a adaptogenic component.
It's found in the brain.
Yeah.
It's kind of like kind of like phosphatidylcholine. It's kind of similar, like the brain. And it's found in like cow brains, but now they get it extracted from soy because I think it's like unethical.
Soy.
Yeah, but that's the thing because like this, I know, but like this, me and Alex were talking about this. It's like it's isolated. Like this compound, the phosphatidylcholine is isolated, so there's no other components of the soy in the
I even talked to
I've never taken it.
Walker about it. Like I asked him like personally, I was talking to him and he was like, it's because it's isolated, like you won't get the bad effects from soy.
Of course he's gonna say actually this is bloody product. He doesn't want to be like, yeah bro, it fucks you up, but don't tell anyone. Like no.
I feel my gender slowly changing as I'm taking it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that is an interesting one, phosphatidylserine. Yeah.
I've seen it mentioned on Reddit and stuff, but there's lots of stuff mentioned on Reddit. It's just you can't really try them all, basically.
Yeah.
Like, I've tried
I
a
think
lot
it's
of
good.
things. Like,
I'll get around to it eventually.
So what does it do exactly? It's an adaptogen, and
It's very good for lowering stress.
It's
It lowers anxiety. Increases dopamine.
it plays a key role in cell cycle signaling.
Right. I'm always worried when when there's a herb that's powerful. The first thing I think is, what are the potential side effects?
Yeah, I think with phosphatidylserine though, it's not. But keep in mind, it's not herb. It's like choline. Like, you have choline. Like you have acetylcholine, choline bitartrate, CBD choline. It's similar. Like it's it's like phosphatidylcholine and phosphatidylserine. Like it's on Men-Elite. Like that's like the holy grail website for me personally at where I'm at in life. But
it's a good site. Hans actually got me into the whole repeat kind of thing.
Do you know Hans personally?
I don't know him personally, but I
from his article. Okay.
I bumped into him on Reddit. He posted something, and I started messaging him, asked him a few questions, and he's the one that told me that the varicocele is actually linked to estrogen. I was like, that's interesting. But
no way.
I ended up doing some protocol where, this is going to sound ridiculous. I'm already saying this in the stream, but basically I had to like get some calcium in the vein to strengthen it somehow.
Okay.
So I had to paint my ball sack with white willow tree bark and let it solidify and have it for a week on my nutsack, man. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, he does that stuff though. Like he puts it didn't work. Okay. It's worth a try at the end of the day.
That's kind of that's how I started, because I got like varicose veins as well. That's kind of how it started for me. I'm like 18 years old, and I'm like, I reached down my leg and I'm like, what the fuck are varicose veins? And I'm like this fucking health obsessed individual geek, and this is happening. So I like kind of start digging, and it's because I've been taking speed for 3 years straight. That's why.
Fucking hell, bro. What the? You're just completely wired on speed, like.
By the way, we got a minute. I don't know why these calls cut out, but we got a minute. So do you want to do another one after this, or you guys push for time, or what's
to make an investment?
You get down to another one, yeah.
I got 33% battery, so I'm good.
Well, we can just chat for like a bit more, yeah.
Yeah. That's fine.
Cool. That is cool. I mean, this is crazy. Like, this is crazy information. I don't think my subscribers are ready for this. I think they're gonna sit and watch this and be like, what the fuck? These guys are talking about some crazy shit.
Pepper your angers. Prepare yourself. We're going deep.
All right, cool. Can you see the timer or not?
Yeah, it's just start a new one.
Okay, cool. All right, no, we'll start a new one. See you in a sec.